Hey, good morning to you guys. I got 162 miles left. Woke up at 5 a.m. today. And the night before I didn't sleep at all. And the day after that I didn't take any naps or anything like that. Had some things going on. You know, drove some of... Basically the night before, you guys know, the load. Drove all night from Boise back to Post Falls, so after that worked in the office. After that, did some things outside, this and that, got a haircut, you know, the basic little things that people need to do. Well, now that I got the CarPlay in here, basically you don't really even need this in here anymore. It just takes up, you know, kind of space, or blocks your guys' view from seeing things. So I don't know. I might get rid of the GPS, but I might not. I don't know, because you never know when this could die on you too. Then you just rely only on the phone. I like to keep my phone screen for other things, but like seriously, the CarPlay, that's something that you guys should consider. It's not that expensive. There's all kinds of them online as well. And the one I'm using here, this is nice. I wish that you could have more apps on it. I wish that you could, you know, like legitimately, if you're not moving, basically I would want maybe a little more perfection to it, as far as like, if you're not moving, so the thing would have a built-in GPS in there, and if you're not moving, that way you would be able to use your, you know, like watching apps or whatever. What if, you know what I mean? Why would you need a tablet or a computer screen when you can have a size screen like this? What if you want to watch YouTube on there and you're parked? What if you want to watch some Netflix or, you know, Hulu or whatever, Prime Video, anything like that? It'd be neat to actually have that work while you're while you're not driving. While you're driving, that's kind of, you know, especially when that's out of the way. I know a lot of people. I know what drivers do. I know what I do. So when it comes to phone and screen on and all that kind of thing, so you just got to be super careful. That's why I have mine up here. That way you're actually still looking at the road and still, you know, very lightly distracted if you are. But besides that, the CarPlay, it's good. And you don't necessarily only have to have it on, it's not just for Android. It's either Apple or Android CarPlay, so whatever phone you use, there's both systems for you guys. It's good. It's good. If you have any kind of a Bluetooth connection in your van already, everything, all the sound comes through here as always, and then you get to see what's going on over there. You get to do your like Spotify, YouTube Music app if you want, any other radio stations you can think of, podcasts, news, audio books. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on. So if you guys are into like reading and you're listening to audiobooks, it will do that even when you're driving. Spotify is one of the biggest. Pandora is a free app. Spotify, I think you got to pay for that. I don't have Spotify. But YouTube has everything on there for free. Got all kinds of music in there too, so it's not just a video platform. I don't get any kind of commissions for this, so don't think that I'm, you know, trying to advertise and trying to get a commission for it. I don't get any commissions. I just think it's a neat thing to have an extra GPS. You could have this GPS on and that at the same time and kind of verify them together. That's the main thing. That's one of those biggest focus points that I was talking to you guys about, is in big cities, this main GPS could take you guys on a wild goose chase sometimes, or tell you that you've arrived and you've really not arrived. And you can't only depend on Google either. Apple Maps, I'm not even talking about that. If any of you guys are using Apple Maps, throw that thing in the trash. Get rid of that app and don't use it at all. Use Google Maps instead of Apple Maps. Since it's Google, they try to update it as much as possible. and it's a lot more accurate than Apple Maps. Apple Maps has gotten me in trouble way too many times when I used to have an iPhone, when I used to use one. It's not good. Even in the recent years, I know my wife, she had an Android, then she wanted an iPhone, so she had an iPhone, and I used that. It's gotten me in some trouble with it as far as the navigation goes. But hey, you do you. As long as you're on time for pickup and delivery, that's really all that dispatch cares about. So whatever you use, as long as it works for you, then that's good enough for us on the other end of the spectrum here. Picking up medical supplies from a residence, and then it's going to a hospital. So I had like 180 miles when I started off. I bet somewhere around there, 180-ish miles to pick up, and then I don't know how many loaded it is, maybe 150, maybe a little more, and then turn around and drive back straight home empty. So that's my day today. Pays a round trip, has decent pay in it. There's not many drivers out here who do this kind of stuff, so you know, when a load does come out here out west, if we have a decent rate and if we're close enough, then a lot of times we'll get it. But there are the cheapos here, and there are people that I understand that can stay here and wait for almost a week, maybe more than a week. If somebody's sitting here waiting for a load, yeah, of course they're going to get desperate. Of course they're going to charge one way to get out of here. Anything to get out of here. Gas money, you know what I mean? Half price of what I would charge, maybe even. But it is what it is, you know? I could be stuck somewhere too. I remember I was stuck in California when I took my wife with me, and we were bidding loads for 70 cents a mile, and we couldn't get up here to Washington. I think we ended up with like one halfway and then another halfway for like 80 cents a mile back then, and we got those loads. But I'm talking about 80 cents a mile that's like pure money, not 80 cents a mile. Dispatch needs to make money too, whoever's loading you. So you got to understand that when you're getting 80, 85 cents a mile or more, well, if under contract they're not doing any deductions from your rate, as far as like, you know, percentage deductions, which is very uncommon by the way, in expediting, then you got to understand that if they're not doing deductions, then that's what the rate is, minus what you get, or minus your percentage, I mean. But if you're like us, who do not do any deductions and just kind of add on top per load on a load-to-load basis, depending on what it is, depending on what the market is, depending on what the competition is. I mean, if we're bidding all day long and we put in 100 bids for you for one driver or more, if dispatch has, and we're not getting any answers, well, we gotta add less for ourselves, and then maybe even ask the driver, do you want to bid less too per mile, just so we can get out. Still, it's hard to say. Did things get better? Did things not get better? Middle of May, and not a big improvement, not at all. Sometimes we just go because we have connections. Sometimes the load boards are just dead from whatever area you're in, and sometimes they're not dead, but they're super cheap, and we're just a lot of times amazed at what the drivers drive for. So you never know. I'm just blessed. Beautiful day. Scenery changes as you go. What else can you ask for? What else can you ask for? Peaceful. We don't have war going on out here, so thank Jesus for everything and just be happy with what you have. And yeah, a lot of people might say, well, it's not good enough. Well, who promised you good enough in life? Nobody did. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to want something good and to want to be successful and to have goals for that and to meet your goals. But it just, when you're in business for yourself like this, you never know. You never know. The whole trucking industry's suffering. Hundreds of companies are closing weekly throughout U.S. We'll see what will happen. We're not going to go anywhere. I don't think so. I mean, as far as I can tell now, it's, we ain't going anywhere. We've done this for too long to just, throw it all away. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of dedication. It's a lot of proving ourselves, and we did, to a lot of people, and we still continue to do so, even to the new brokers that we deal with. So just so you guys know, it's not just that easy. It's not just grabbing an MC number and a DOT number and hurry up and pay for a load board, and all of a sudden you think that's it. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows. And until you prove it, and to prove that, you got to have a decent fleet of vehicles and prove it daily. Because there's hundreds of good brokers out there that do not know who you are. You could have the cheapest prices out there. You can give them the best rate, but if they don't know who you are, they're not going to risk their load with you. Some might, but it's just a gut feeling. Some might just because they feel okay. But a lot of times they're just going to give it to somebody they can trust. And right now it's all about keeping that customer and retaining that customer that they have. So it's gonna be tough for the new guys. It's gonna be really tough. You gotta. My suggestion is, if you guys want to do this, if you're new, then get with somebody reputable, somebody that's trustworthy in your opinion, and work with those guys, because when they've been around, they have more connections. A lot of times the loads do not even hit the load board that we get offered, and we go. And that's what they do. They offer it to us, to somebody else, and whoever they trust and want on the load, that's who's going to go. It's going to hit the load board only if they don't have any other options. But every vehicle we have available always gets posted on the board as well. So when the broker's on there, before he even posts a load, he checks for his favorite best carriers that they trust. And if they're on there, they're going to call them and say, hey, here it is, or email the load offer. If not, and you're just new, it's going to be a tough road, especially right now. When before it was post-COVID times, when the drivers were in demand back then, and you could charge whatever you wanted to charge, and all they needed to do is just move the And just like that, delivery is complete. You don't even know just like what, but it's pretty simple and easy. I parked, I'll show you guys. Got hassled by security just for a moment, but he didn't tell me to move or anything. I just told him I'll move myself. So I always come to the place wherever, emergency room area. It's not even emergency, but urgent care area. So I kind of parked right there. Started unloading. He came up to me and was like, oh, usually we have people park like further down over there. So I'm like, okay, that's not a problem. I'll move out of here, or I'll move right now if you want me to. And he's like, oh, no, it's okay. So they've got this beautiful area right here of where you can sit down and have some kind of a meal, maybe some coffee or whatever. Enjoy the views of the road and the train, whatever, up there. Pretty neat. And that's it for me. You always got to make it easier for yourself. You know, don't listen to these people, because the other guy's like, oh, did you park at the loading dock? And I'm like, no, we don't use loading docks for this stuff. So if they want to use loading docks and go through there, that's a big problem. You have to go through the whole hospital wheeling this stuff in. Usually, when it comes to this type of medical equipment that we haul, this stuff is always close to the emergency area, because MRI's got to be like right there. They gotta, I don't know why, they just built it like that. That's how the design is. United States design, maybe somewhere else too, but that's how things work. So I got my POD. I took a picture of where it was left. So all good here. I'm gonna send that. I'm gonna send my contact who I picked it up from the picture of where it was left. Tell him that in the control room there's no room. Contractor asked me to leave it elsewhere, so it's not in their way. And that's really it. So nothing to it. Weather here, it's not like it was in Spokane, and it's not like it was where I picked up. It's kind of like drizzling and not drizzling. Still 60 degrees, but it doesn't doesn't feel the same 60. People here are in coats, everything. I'm here in shorts. I came from, I came from the south, but came from a warmer climate than they have here. Usually the statistics here, they have 70 sunny days out of the year in the Seattle area. Only 70 sunny days out of the year. Can you believe that? That's incredible. Even in the wintertime we have sun. These guys, yeah, not so much. I don't know why somebody would really love this place. It's too busy here, close to the coast. I guess there's not a whole lot of snow, so you don't deal with that. And if you like the rain, then I guess it's good for you. But the allergies, man, allergies for me are killing me. So gonna get going, get out of here, find some place where, I don't know, if I want to grab lunch or if I don't want to grab lunch. I'll grab my sugar-free Red Bull out of my fridge. I'll do that. This will go here. It's nice here in these kind of clinics because you can, after you're done with your delivery and when you've put everything away, I put everything away before I even, went inside with everything. Strapped my, ramp back in and everything. So after you do your delivery, it's nice because you can walk in there on your way out, use the restroom, wash your hands out really, really good with soap and everything, and that way you're clean, and that way you're not touching your face and rubbing your eyes with dirt and something else. So those, wipes, yeah, they don't really, you know what I mean? If you guys know what washing hands is versus wipes, everybody knows. You can go clean with wipes 10 times, and when you go wash your hands right after that, you're still gonna have something to wash off. So best thing is to actually wash it off with soap. Nice and clean now. So gonna go see if maybe lunch, maybe not lunch, I don't know. Maybe I'll grab lunch somewhere along the way, if anything, but I gotta go see if there's a mower out here. For parts, my son called around everywhere, did not find any parts. So parts is a no-go. That's a nice Porsche right there, the black one, turned. We're gonna see if I can find a mower and maybe score double today, the load and a decent mower. I'm still in searches for a big deck zero turn mower, so we'll see if I can find it. Flying home without a mower and without another load, as usual. The times that I see stuff there, I mean, there were a couple, but they didn't respond back to me, so either the ads are fake or who knows what they are. But really windy today. You guys can see the big old swells out here. No mower, no load. I didn't even wait for a load that much. I mean, I hung around maybe half an hour and then just took off. So it is what it is. Feeling tired though, just from not, from sitting around so much, not really moving around. I did move around to load and unload that stuff, but that ain't much. Doesn't really, help you out that much. Get your blood pumping just a little bit, but not a whole heck of a lot. Super windy. I guess this wind is from the north. This is what it's looking like, and our weather is changing. I just got off the phone with my wife, and she said that tomorrow is like a high of 60s, which today it's like 78 out here right now. Beautiful. And there's a campground to the right. And I've been saying this, but I keep passing here without a fishing pole, which, what are these guys waiting for? Trying to nab somebody? Nab Jones? Trying to nab somebody? I guess if I had it, I would, dedicate a half hour or an hour try maybe to catch some fish, but I just got to go through my stuff, my fishing gear, update my license for this year, and then I think I'm just gonna find some mounts, like fishing mounts online somewhere, fishing pole mounts, and mount it pretty decently somewhere up on the right hand side, on the right wall, up on top somewhere. Just have a pole or even two with me. That way I can do like a bass setup, and that way I can do like a trout fishing setup, because while you're fishing for bass, you can always throw it in and wait for a trout with another pole. So we'll see how that goes. Gotta take you guys on some more fishing adventures. I know those other videos that I did with the fishing, they didn't get that many views. You guys weren't interested in that. You guys are more interested in knowing exactly how much money you can make and stuff like that. But the money part, or me getting hurt somewhere, or something else is more interesting than than the fishing part. So for you guys, or most of you guys, feeling tired. For most of you guys, it doesn't really matter, I guess, huh? Or if it does, comment in the comment section. Let me know if fishing is something you guys want to see. Man, the wind is insane. Look at this. Jeez Louise. And I'm empty this time. It was pretty bad when I was going over there in Ellensburg, but now this is pretty exciting wind out here. I bet you if somebody's driving behind me, they see me driving sideways and slanted to the right. God bless you guys. Take care. Comment, like, subscribe. You guys know what to do. I don't ask for it much, but hey, gotta break that 100,000 mark at some point, right? You're gonna say 100,000? Are you kidding me? Hey, why not? I wanna get a YouTube plaque on my wall, one of those silver ones, and you only get it at 100,000 subscribers, or after 100,000. So I want to get one of those. Maybe that should be my goal. Take care, guys. God bless. See each other next time.